Hello, Professor Pearson. This will be the last time that I get to present for you. Uh, this is my final project. I called it the Excellent Learner Framework, and I will be testing my company, Tesla, that I chose at the beginning of the semester. So let's jump right in. All right, so Tesla Inc. Here's the timeline kind of Tesla. So 2003, it started by Eberhard and Tarpening, and then the Roadster's out. Musk becomes CEO in 2008. 2010, it goes public. 12 is the Model S. 2013, they finally make a profit, and then they come out with new cars, bigger factories. They acquire Solar City in 2016. They launch a Roadster in space in 2018, just for giggles. And then the Cybertruck is unveiled in 2019. They're finally coming out, and shipping them now in 2024, and so that's pretty cool. And then in 2020, Tesla became the most valuable U.S. automaker ever. And so, again, I'll kind of reiterate some of that again with these bullet points, but I wanted to go over that picture real quick. So Tesla is a technology and automotive company. It started out only tech, but now they are only automotive, but now they are working into that technology sector. They produce cars, trucks. They're working on a quad, I guess, from forever ago: batteries, storage systems, chargers, solar panels, and solar shingles. So it's like a solar panel, but it looks like a shingle, goes all over your roof. They're trying to make that more efficient. And so again, they went public in 2010, and now they're the most valuable U.S. automaker ever. So any U.S. automaker, Ford, Chevy, things like that, Tesla has now surpassed them, and they are led by CEO Elon Musk. So Elon Musk, he is the CEO of Tesla. He's the founder of SpaceX, also the CEO currently, and he is the owner, but not CEO of X, which is formerly Twitter. Now, he started an online bank called X way back in 2002, I think was the year. It merged with Confinity, which later became PayPal. He tried to become a CEO, and the board said no. When it was Confinity as a merged company, shortly after him not winning, it was like 2 or 3 years, it switched into PayPal. And then later on, in about 2018, I believe, he bought the X.com URL back so that he could use it. And because he really wants to create an app that is just all encompassing, can do anything you need all in one place. So banking, social media, whatever, that'll be the place. So anyway, now he has X.com, which is Twitter, but it was the bank back in the day. And so the second time he was also outed as a CEO. And again, this will apply later on, but setting the groundwork. He was denied CEO with the first company, Zip2, that he started with his brother, that later was bought out by, I think, Comcast. But anyway, he's regarded as smart, but he's risky and uncontrollable. I'm sure you've seen many interviews with him and many funny videos where he just says and does some wild things, but it's a lot of fun to listen to the work that he does. So here are the principles that I will be basing my framework on. Levers of control. So belief system, it's going to guide and inspire organizations, right? It's the belief statement that a company is going to have, and that they're going to get all the employees on board to guide all innovation, creation, development within the company. Boundary system is going to create that outline, that out of bounds that employees are not supposed to pass. So segregation of duties, employee access cards, buildings they're not allowed to even go into, things like that. Interactive control systems is going to stimulate the emergence of new initiatives and strategies. And so again, that's going to manage those strategic uncertainties. And then diagnostic control systems, we're going to set goals, or this is where setting goals, coordinating with employees and leaders and things like that, monitoring performance and motivating employees, those are going to be key. The monitoring performance is one of the easiest ways to look at a company and see how they're performing. So we can look at those metrics that they use and compare and see, okay, they use this, how are they actually doing in terms of their performance indicators? And so then we're going to use some good to great concepts from the book Good to Great by Jim Collins, another great book that I've read in my bachelor's program. It was a great book. So people before strategy. Got to have the right people in place before the strategy. Now, Elon Musk obviously came after the company was started, but as the company goes, strategy will evolve. The company is going to make changes over time. So as you keep going, people need to be placed, and strategy may need to get slightly adjusted, but ultimately you're trying to put people in the right place to build up that strategy. So you're hoping to have them there before the next move. So hopefully you're bringing in some people that understand solar power and things like that before you go buy Solar City, for example. Then we're going to talk about level 5 leadership. You got to have humility, that immutable will, that unchanging will, and then the ability to face hard facts, which it doesn't technically tie into a level 5 leader. That's a later concept, but I wanted to apply it all as one to kind of make it simple. Again, immutable will, it means doing what needs to be done, even when it seems hard. So COVID was a really good chance for these CEOs to show their immutable will and keep going with what they knew needed to be done in order to pull off surviving the pandemic. And then we're going to also discuss the hedgehog concept and test Tesla and Elon Musk against the hedgehog concept. And you've got to select your strategy that will ultimately be what your company's best at, driven by passion. So you've got to have passion, and you've got to know what your company's going to be able to be best at. So Tesla, they may not be the biggest car manufacturer in the world, but they didn't set for that. They're not the most expensive car manufacturer in the world. They're not trying to outdo Pagani and Koenigsegg. They're trying to outdo electric cars. They want to be the best electric car company in the world. And again, we'll get to that later, but you got to know what you'll be best at. You got to know what your passion is, and then you've got to set your strategies based on those two concepts after, not the other way around. I'll go back just to see that last point for you, just because I clicked through it really quickly, so I apologize. But again, that was just kind of the last point of don't do it backwards. All right, so here's a flywheel. This will be the last concept or the last principle that we will use to test Tesla and Elon Musk as being a excellent learner. And so the flywheel concept, again, it's just businesses need to be patient, consistent, constant in their efforts and allow momentum to build, because as momentum builds, it will allow for further growth. That usually takes a lot more work to get done, but this momentum will easily kickstart it and help it going. And during the hard times like COVID, it will keep it going. Even when you don't have a lot of employees or you don't have a lot of sales, that momentum will help keep the company alive and well. And so, again, without momentum, you're going to be fighting yourself. If you try to gun a car from 0 to 60 and it didn't have the flywheel concept within the car itself, you would be shattering pieces in the car. There's a lot of crazy things that could be happening. You're going to bust stuff. You're going into the mechanic, and they're going to love you every time because you took out the flywheel. So you got to leave that in your car. You got to leave that in your company and let the momentum build. So with these concepts and principles from the 2 books that we were able to read, we are going to now test Tesla and Elon Musk against these to see if they are excellent learners. Are they able to learn from the past? Are they able to learn and prepare for the future? Are they able to learn from these professionals in the business world and others who are able to provide these roadmaps to success? Are they able to learn from these and apply it into their own business? All right, we'll start off with Tesla, so we'll divide it half and half. So Tesla, it's working tirelessly to train and hire the right people to make sure they're driven. And so they want to find ambitious people and those that will ingrain within themselves this belief statement that Tesla has. And it says, to create the most compelling car company of the 21st century by driving the world's transition to electric vehicles. With this belief statement, they hope that all employees will take this, build it within themselves, get it ingrained in their psyche, and allow themselves to work towards that goal and helping Tesla to reach it. Then they also have these boundary systems, the segregation of duties, environmental regulations they have to follow, reporting regulations. Thank you, SOX and Sarbanes-Oxley for all these. And so even though they're externally driven and legally required, Tesla does a really good job of implementing them. They do not have problems with financial reporting and bad audits and things like that, so they're doing really good on that front. And so they are working to avoid those known risks. And then they are investing in the current and future workforce by training and having these programs to work with college students and trade students and doing all these things to create a forward-thinking future with these employees. So even though they may not be in the position they want to be or may not be at the company yet, they are forward-thinking. They're looking for what will be next. What will I do at Tesla? What can I change? And so that's the interactive control system part. And then here is the diagnostic control system. So it doesn't really say their method. but I will tell you. So they, being Tesla, measures waste per vehicle made. So at each factory, every vehicle that steps out, they know how much waste was created by creating that vehicle. And so they have been able to go from their Fremont factory, which was like their first major factory that they consider, versus their most recent one at the time of this report in 2023, Shanghai, that it has been a 35% reduction from their first factory to their last factory. And so we can see that they are clearly looking at these waste per vehicle reports and trying to be better and trying to be more efficient. And so we're seeing that those diagnostic control systems are in place and working because they're actually using it to grow and to adapt and be better. And so, again, I will click through this so you can see it, but I just said it because I forget to click through on these things. So top to bottom, again, this is going to kind of go into that leadership now. Top to bottom, Tesla's working tirelessly to hire those engineers, the factory workers, the accountants, everyone in the correct department and the correct location at the correct time in order to build those people and place them so that they can benefit the strategy in some way. Obviously, Tesla's got a strategy. So some of these people are going to fill holes where people left, and you're just trying to, put that puzzle piece right back in, right? But you also have these people that are going to be put on innovation teams and future idea teams that are going to need to work and look to the future and what they can do. And so Tesla's working really hard to maximize the potential of the person's skill and the position at the company. And so Tesla has hired Elon Musk as their CEO. Tesla's level 5 leadership, we can't obviously do that on the Tesla side, so we're going to do that for Elon Musk, but that will pass on to him. So if Elon Musk passes the level 5 leadership, Tesla will therefore pass on their side for the framework. So that will not hold them back by not testing them against it, technically. All right, so Tesla sets its sights on being the best electric car company in the world. I think they're doing pretty good. They're better than the Prius, better than the Chevy Volt. Mercedes is trying to catch up to them. BMW is trying to catch up to them. Nissan trying to catch up to them. But they're playing at a different role. And Tesla is doing this by having a passion for renewable energy and building a world based on electric energy. That electric car, and now they're building an ecosystem with the solar panel going into the storage system, which can then power your house, which can power the home battery charging system for your Tesla, which can then also be stored in the battery on the wall. It's called a wall pack, and it'll also charge the car, right? So it's this whole ecosystem that you're trying to build of this renewable electric energy, and they're doing this to create these high quality cars that they want to be the very best at, and they're so far succeeding, and so it's doing really good there. And so by adapting this strategy with implementation of Solar City in 2016, they're able to say, hey, not just the best electric car company, but we're going to create this system that will make it the best in terms of, waste, efficiency for charging, things like that. And so it's going to be this absolute ecosystem that will grant Tesla this luxury item that all customers are going to want. It's kind of like the Apple ecosystem, right? You want the iPad, the Mac, the iPod, the iPhone, the AirPods. You want all of it because if you have it, it all works together, right? The AirPods go straight from the iPad to listen to the phone as soon as you watch Netflix over here or Reel over here, things like that. So you want the ecosystem, and you'd get that with this luxury company. And Tesla has waited 10 years to turn a profit. And so having talked about the hedgehog concept of, hey, we set our strategy. We want to be the best. Now we have to wait, right? We have to let it go. So Tesla's initial strategy of being the best electric car company, it took 10 years to turn a profit. 10 years after that, they became the most valuable U.S. automaker. 10 more years, they might hit the goal of being the best luxury electronic tech company in the U.S. in terms of solar charging, battery, car, ecosystem type situations. And so, who knows? But this was only capable because they allowed themselves to set the sights on those goals, allow momentum to build. They didn't give up. It took them 10 years to make a profit. Most people, especially mom and pop shops, close after a couple because they can't afford it. So to keep going and to keep pushing, only to then go from finally making a profit to being the most valuable in just 10 years and then 20 years. Wild idea that they have proven the flywheel concept, that that momentum will carry him forward. So now we will talk about Elon Musk. Elon Musk is the CEO of Tesla. And so as such, I could not find any proof that he was behind development, creation, implementation, guidance, or anything surrounding the levers of control. Now, obviously, I know he's the CEO, but I could not find hard facts, hard information regarding him implementing and surrounding himself around these levers of control that he was actually in charge of and actually managing and dealing with them. And so as such, I believe he fails on this one part of the principle. And so I don't think he is able to get a passing grade purely because I don't want to give him a passing grade on the levers of control systems when I can't prove he's actually doing it. Now with SpaceX and X, which is Twitter, and whatever else he does next, we will be able to see with more proof and more time how he is as a CEO and an owner. Is he actually being able to prove that? And then we can go back and reassess him at a later time and then see if he passes this principle. But as CEO, Musk does make a lot of decisions regarding hiring and placement of positions. So as such, Musk has worked valiantly to position people in the right job. He has come out publicly and said many times that he will not hire somebody with a college degree if there's somebody better that has a trade or just knows it. He does not care if you have a degree or if you have a high school education. He wants the best person for the right job, and he will do that time and time again. And so Musk has also proven his humility and his ability to face hard facts. In the video after this slide, I will show you, but he's able to show his humility and able to show that I'm not the smartest person in the room. There are people smarter than me, and I'll face that fact head on, and I will take it and I will run with it. And so I will show you that video. And then he's also shown his immutable will. When he bought Twitter and took it over, he cut 80% of the workforce because he didn't believe it was needed. So here's the video to show humility and ability to face hard. Apologies, a little bit of tech problem.
You don't even need a whole gas system. You already have podcasts. But this is only for the booster, right? Yes. Although arguably, now you mention it, we might be wise to do this for the ship too. We're gonna fix that.
Jeez.
I'd say that's like one of the biggest improvements that we've made.
It occurred to me while I was explaining it to you. I was like, wait, what are we doing?
With that, he was able to show that the reporter proved him wrong, showed him that that fuel system does not make any sense. They changed it 7 months later. He comes back, invites that YouTuber again, does another interview, and is able to show that he was able to fix it. So Elon Musk, he has a very strong voice of the company's goals and strategy. He's always out doing press conferences and shows and things like that. And so he's regularly helping show customers and the world what Tesla's capable of. And he will make bold statements like the Cybertruck has bulletproof glass and side panels, and it is just a great car for if the world goes down and you need a bulletproof car. It did not work. They'll have to revamp it. But again, he is very outspoken about being out about the company's goals and strategies. And he did help adapt the goals to acquire SolarCity in 2016 and build that Tesla ecosystem. And so Musk has shown resilience in staying true to Tesla's concepts and ideas for years. Cybertruck was initially announced in 2019. And as I said before, it is now shipping in 2024. Or 2019 was announced, in 2024 is finally shipping. Wild. So Musk allowed momentum to build for years. They fixed the problems, they corrected them, and now they're able to go off of that momentum and keep going. So here's the final result. Tesla Inc. meets all the criteria, the excellent learners framework, by having all 4 levers of control met, the people before strategy, level 5 leaders, hedgehog concept, the flywheel concept. They were able to prove all of these items. I did not find them at fault for any of them. Again, I think Elon Musk passes that level 5 leadership. And so therefore, I believe that Tesla has met all the criteria, and I qualify them as being an excellent learner. Elon Musk, however, meets the criteria for people strategy, level 5 leadership, hedgehog concept, the flywheel concept. He meets those with flying colors. I have lots of proof. My works cited page is way too long, but he does not meet the 4 levers of control because I purely just cannot prove that he aids in the implementation of guidance of those systems. And so he's on the path to being an excellent learner. He can always be reassessed at a later time. But here's my concluding thoughts. Users of my framework should understand the criterias, not just from what I've written and what I've presented, but by reading Levers of Control by Robert Simons and Good to Great by Jim Collins. Tesla needs to begin applying these concepts to older factories and facilities or risk loss of revenue, poor working conditions, or further fines and legal action due to a lack of consistency in ESG standards. It is a company very highly focused on ESG standards, and they are getting constantly fined in Fremont County in the Bay Area for their Fremont factory being inefficient and causing a lot of waste and pollution. And so they need to work better at that and apply that diagnostic control system a little bit better to their older factories now. But I don't find them at fault because it's obviously working for their new stuff. They just can't forget about the past. And then Elon Musk needs to show further examples of being involved in applying the levers of control. With time, we will see that as he continues to be CEO of these companies and owner. And I personally believe that he is on the path to being an excellent learner. And with that, I will end here. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for a great semester. Bye.